I sat on him. I sat on him and I won the match. By sitting on him. Hey everyone, Kevin Graham here with an update on our RetroMania Wrestling playthroughs. If you haven't already, pause this video right now and go check out the other VODs we put together. They are available now on the Brainwreck channel. I did a playthrough the night RetroMania Wrestling was released to give my first impressions and reactions, and, well, you're just going to have to check it out to see all the fun and excitement that went down. Also, we have a comparison video posted where I play through the arcade classics, WWF Superstars, and WWF WrestleFest, followed up by another playthrough of RetroMania. I gave my overall impressions of all three, discussed things that are great, things that kind of miss the mark, and a few stories from my time in the wrestling business, and much, much more. If you've been following along with all the news from RetroMania Wrestling lately, then you likely heard about the recent update to the game where they adjusted the difficulty levels and added a grapple assist indicator to give people an opportunity to gauge where they're at with the grapple system. Now I'm going to come right out and say it, this game is difficult as hell. I've seen people talking and saying, oh my god, this game is so much fun, I just won the 10 pounds of gold tournament. And I'm thinking, who the hell are you guys, and why are you so good at this game already? It's been a bit of a struggle for me. Now, I know that I haven't really been into games too much lately, but at the same time, this seems like the type of game where I should be able to pick it up, drop in, play without having any issue. Again, if you go back and watch the comparison video I did for Superstars and WrestleFest, you'll see that I actually did pretty well. This game shouldn't really be too difficult to get through right away. I mean, especially if you set the difficulty to the lowest level. But hearing that this update was released rather quickly tells me that there may be equal to greater parts frustration as well. Let's keep in mind here, yes, games like this were designed to eat your quarters back in the day. That's without question. But for everybody playing RetroMania Wrestling now, we're all sitting at home, we're playing on computers, we're playing on consoles, searching for any hope of fun and excitement. No one's looking for a walk in the park here, but some chance of winning would be cool, which is why I think they made the update. Now, normally I would say that if a development team is releasing a patch within the first week of the game's release, then someone done messed something up. But I also see this as the developers listening to their fans and making fast moves, which should be seen as a good sign of things to come. Retrosoft seems very responsive to people on social media as well as the Steam community, so that's awesome to see at the very least. Now, why are we here? To test this update. So here's what I did. I went through the game again, and I played through a couple of matches on the lowest difficulty setting, the second lowest difficulty setting, and then the difficulty setting set right in the middle. Now for every match, I'm going to do the same time length setting, and grapple assist is going to be on as well, so we have some sort of base comparison throughout all the matches. These matches still started off kind of hot, but I felt like I had better control over the pacing. Being able to actually hit finishers made playing more exciting. And actually being able to beat guys down pretty quickly was kind of fun. I mean, it's kind of what I was expecting out of this game. There's definitely still a need to read up on the movesets and some of the in-game mechanics, but that's okay at this point. Now, despite being on the lowest difficulty setting and knowing that this was meant to be more of an arcade-style drop-in, drop-out sort of game, I felt like my opponent's health was still getting depleted a little too quickly. I mean, I straight up owned these dudes. Look, I beat Stevie Richards by making Tommy Dreamer sit on him, which is probably a solid finish for Tommy anyways. So let's bump this up a level of difficulty. Theoretically, this shouldn't be too bad. It's only one level higher than the lowest setting, so that should be okay, right? Okay, yeah, so I'm getting my ass kicked right away. I definitely need to get up to speed on all the in-game mechanics, but hell, I just sat on Stevie Richards to beat him, and that was like a walk in the park pretty much. This is more like a walk in the park, but it's a dog park, and all the dogs hate me. This was sort of the trend throughout the entire next difficulty level. It wasn't all bad, but while I continued to play through, the feeling I got was, holy shit, I need to finish this match as quickly as possible. The momentum bar seemed like it was building a little too fast, which if your opponent gets theirs filled first, you might as well go ask your dad for another $5 and change. All right, so we're going to bump things up a little bit and jump to the next difficulty. I wouldn't have expected this to be that much different, but just, yeah, wow, this game is friggin' difficult. Even with grapple assist on, I still had issues, and it almost felt like the grapple assist didn't really matter at this point in the game. Things were moving super fast. I felt like I didn't really get a chance. And again, I understand that that's how the game is supposed to be designed, and there's supposed to be a little bit of a randomness to the whole grapple system, and you're not always going to win. But at this point, it felt like there was no getting out of the pain and punishment of this game. The lowest level made it feel like there was at least a chance, and like I could get a solid back and forth going within the match if I wanted to. Or I could just button mash the holy hell of my keyboard and get the win. The higher the difficulty you set, the better your timing needs to be. If you're interested in starting this game at the lowest level and grinding your way to a more difficult level, then you'll probably enjoy RetroMania. But if you're looking for a nice blend of challenge and hope, then you're probably going to have a tough time. Overall, I really want to enjoy this game. WrestleFest was one of my favorite games as a kid, so I was super excited to hear about RetroMania when the news first came out. I think the roster selection is great, and the idea of having young talent mixed with modern-day veterans and legends is a fun concept. The possibilities for future DLC is endless, and I kinda can't wait to see what else they have in store. Also, the idea of having a snackable gaming experience is perfect for somebody like me. I don't really have too much time to play video games these days, so being able to jump in and jump out and do a couple of matches within 10 to 15 minutes is actually appealing to me. The current issue I see, though, is that a lot of people are going to get snacked on when they play this game, and casual fans probably won't be able to get into it. I like that Retrosoft is listening to the people, and they already put together a big change for this game. But something with RetroMania still feels broken. What makes that more frustrating is all the delays to the release date they announced prior to officially launching the game. Honestly, I've contemplated submitting a request for a refund via Steam, but I think I'm going to hold off on that. While I think the $25 price tag plus tax is too much for this game in its current state, I do want this game to be successful. I think that there's an opportunity for Retrosoft to continue making patches and updates and listening to the fans and getting the feedback that they need. I also think that there's going to be a lot of cool features and updates for DLC down the road. And I mean, the element of awe and nostalgia is phenomenal. I mean, look at this thing. It looks fun as hell. But right now, in its current state, I'm not really looking to pick it up and start playing. As a concept, yes, this game knocks it out of the park. I mean, being a direct sequel to WrestleFest is something that a lot of us have been looking for years. But if you're looking for a game that really encapsulates that WrestleFest quality, then there's probably an emulator out there for you.